This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the RD-180 engine roars to life and liftoff of the maiden flight of the Lockheed Martin Atlas V rocket with a Hotbird 6 spacecraft on board for Eutelsat of Paris, France. With this Atlas V mission underway, let's listen to Rob Gannon providing launch vehicle ascent data here from the Atlas Spaceflight Operations Center.
We have throttled down to 99% thrust rate on time. Everything looks good. Flight control is nice and normal. And the vehicle continues right down the center of the range track. PU looks good. Booster propulsion parameters look good. Vehicle rates continue to look normal. And booster PU continues to ride right on the lock stop as expected. And all propulsion parameters continue to look good. 1 minute into the flight, everything looks good.
-8. Vent door. -5, 4,
Half plate.
3, 2, 1.
Liftoff.
We have ignition and
Plus 3.
100% thrust on the RD-180.
Plus 5.
We have 2 good SRBs and the vehicle has cleared the tower. Booster hydraulics are up and running as expected. Coming up on pitch program, we do have pitch program in, everything looks good. And SRB chamber pressure has peaked out, rolling off as expected. RD-180 continues to operate normally, everything looking good. Engines continue to operate normally. SRB profile looks perfect. And we have throttled down for max Q down to 72% thrust, everything looks good there. SRBs continue to operate normally. Normal profile on all parameters, everything looks good. And we have closed loop control on booster PU, everything looks good. SRBs continue to operate normally. We are throttling back up to 100% thrust.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 10, 9,
-8,
7, 6, 5,
5,
4,
4,
3,
2,
Atlas engine
1.
ignition,
T0.
0,
Release.
and liftoff of the Atlas V rocket carrying the Inmarsat 4F1 satellite for Inmarsat Limited of London, which will bring a new era of high-speed digital satellite communication services to customers throughout Europe, Asia, the Middle East, and Africa. Let's listen to Marty Malinowski as he provides launch vehicle ascent data from the ASOC Engineering Operations Center here at Cape Canaveral.
15 seconds. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition and liftoff of NASA's New Horizons spacecraft on a decade-long voyage to visit the planet Pluto and then beyond. Plus 15 seconds. Everything continues to look good as the Atlas V vehicle climbs away from Florida's east coast. The 5 solid rocket strap-on boosters are burning just fine, sending the New Horizons spacecraft on its way to the very edge of our solar system. T plus 35 seconds. T plus 40 seconds. One minute into flight.
10,
10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
5,
5, 4, 3. Atlas engine ignition, 1, 0 and liftoff of the first Atlas V ELV rocket carrying the STP-1 mission for the United States Air Force and the Department of Defense.
Booster pitch program is in. Vehicle body rates look good in response to the pitch program. Booster engines operating well. MTU pump speeds are good. Boost pump speeds are stable. Injector pressures are within parameter. Bus battery voltages are stable. Tank pressures look good.
Atlas engine ignition. 0 and liftoff of the United
An Atlas V rocket carrying a National Reconnaissance Office payload has successfully launched from Vandenberg Air Force Base. The rocket allows Vandenberg to transport larger payloads into space. The Atlas V is part of a new generation of rockets called Evolved Expandable Launch Vehicles, built by the United Launch Alliance, or ULA. The vehicle is capable of lifting anywhere from 21,500 to 65,000 pounds into low Earth orbit. With the launch of the Atlas V, Vandenberg now joins Cape Canaveral in the history books as the only other base capable of launching a vehicle of this caliber. Reporting from Vandenberg Air Force Base, I'm Senior Airman Richard DiNardo.
T-minus 15 seconds, standing by for terminal count. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Main engine ignition and liftoff of the Atlas V rocket with LCROSS, America's first step of a lasting return to the moon.
And we have the pitch program in. Vehicle body rates look good. RD-180 is operating well. Pump speeds are stable. Injector pressures look good. Bus and battery voltages are stable. Tank pressures look good. RD-180 is continuing to operate well.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Atlas engine ignition, 0 and liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket carrying OTV-1 for the United States Air Force.
Vehicles cleared the
Let's now listen in to Marty Malinowski providing launch vehicle ascent data throughout this flight.
Vehicle pitch program has begun. Vehicle body rates look good. Tank pressures are stable. Booster engine continues to operate well. Pitch program is complete. We're now flying the zero angle attack phase of flight. Booster PU has gone to closed loop control. Engine response looks good. Pump speeds are stable. Injector pressures look good.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Main engine start. 0 and liftoff of the Atlas V with Curiosity, seeking clues to the planetary puzzle about life on Mars.
Heavy program is in right on time. 180 operating at 100% thrust as expected. And throttling down to 76%. Program complete. cell is now breaking the sound barrier. SRB chamber pressures following the nominal curve. Everything looks good. And we passed through max Q. We're on closed loop on Atlas PU. Signatures as expected. SRB profile continues to look nominal. Throttling back up to 100% thrust on the RD-180. Engine parameters looking good. Flight control disturbances look as expected. SRB pressures running right as expected.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition, and we have liftoff. Liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket, carrying the first Mobile User Objective System mission for the United States Navy. MUOS will significantly enhance communications for U.S. forces on the move. You're now hearing the voice of Marty Malinowski providing launch vehicle ascent data. Let's listen in for mission progress.
Mach 1. Max Q, vehicle has begun throttling up right on schedule. Engine response looks good. SRB chamber pressures have plateaued, holding stable.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. And the RD-180 engine roars to life. And liftoff for the United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket, carrying the NRO L-38 payload for the National Reconnaissance Office. NRO systems continue to ensure vigilance from above. And you're hearing the voice of Rob Gannon providing launch vehicle ascent data. Let's listen in.
RD-180 continues to perform nominally. Continue to operate nice and steady at 100% thrust on the RD-180. Next mark event we're looking for is on closed loop on Atlas PU. Coming up in 5 seconds. And we've gone closed loop on Atlas PU. Engine's responding as expected to the change. Everything's looking good.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. We have ignition. And we have liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket, carrying the fourth GPS-2F satellite for the United States Air Force. The Global Positioning System provides worldwide positioning, navigation, and timing services for military and civilian users. You'll be hearing the voice of Marty Malinowski providing launch vehicle ascent data. Let's listen in for mission progress.
RD-180 is performing well. Objective pressures are in band. Speeds continue to look good. And PU has gone closed loop control as made launch pressure request. Engine response looks appropriate.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, we have ignition and liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket carrying the Defense Meteorological Satellite Program mission for the United States Air Force. You are hearing the voice of Marty Malinowski providing launch vehicle ascent data. Let's listen in for mission progress.
Closed loop control on the PU system. Injector pressures, pump speeds look good. Booster engine continues to operate well. The pitch program is complete, now flying the zero angle of attack phase of flight.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We have RD-180 ignition, and we have liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket carrying the NRO L-35 mission for the National Reconnaissance Office. You're hearing the voice of Marty Malinowski providing launch vehicle ascent data.
Performing well.
T-minus 15 seconds. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. On the shoulders of Atlas, the SS Deke Slayton II orbital ATK Cygnus spacecraft soars toward the International Space Station.
PU has gone to closed loop control. HAL roll program's begun, body rates look good.
Listening to Marty Malinowski.
180 pump speeds and injector pressures are in band for set MR. Body rates continue to look nominal.
Seconds into flight.
New rates climbing somewhat, still controlling well. RD-180. Pump speeds, injector pressures all look good. Gun flying the zero angle attack phase of flight. HAL roll program is now complete. Body rates controlling right down the middle.
15 seconds and counting. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And liftoff of NOAA's GOES-R, America's most advanced weather eye in the sky, elevating environmental intelligence to new heights and saving lives.
PU has gone to closed loop control. Engine response looks good. Now flying the zero angle attack phase of flight. Body rates look good. Booster has throttled down as scheduled. Response looks good. Roll program is complete. Body rates controlling down the middle.
Listening to the voice of Marty Malinowski.
Mach 1.
Standing by to pass
Max
through
Q.
Max Q. This is the maximum aerodynamic pressure area. When mechanical stress on the rocket reaches its peak because of the rocket's velocity and resistance created by the atmosphere. Is go. T-minus 15 seconds and counting.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And liftoff of the Atlas V and NOAA's GOES-R, a highly sophisticated weather-watching eye in the sky, to join its twin in providing better forecasts and saving lives.
Atlas has begun a pitch and yaw maneuver to steer to its planned path, an azimuth of 100.7 degrees.
At 35 seconds, the rocket carrying GOES-S will reach Mach 1, traveling faster than the speed of sound.
Down, right on schedule. Signatures look good. Roll program is complete. The speed chamber pressures are rolling off as expected.
At 47 seconds after launch, the vehicle will pass through the area of maximum dynamic pressure, or max Q.
Max Q?
This is the point when mechanical stress on the rocket reaches its peak because of the rocket's velocity and the resistance created by the Earth's atmosphere.
Booster has throttled up as expected.
You are also hearing the voice of United Launch Alliance flight commentator Marty Malinowski.
SRB chamber pressures continue to look good at plateaued.
At 1 minute 50 seconds into flight, the first 2 solid rocket boosters will be jettisoned, followed about a second and a half later by
burnout.
other boosters.